Let me go ahead and share my screen with everybody. Here is the charts. Inventory slowly going up. Slowly. Okay. So right here, homes for sale went up 5% from last week. New listings are down 2%. Sold homes went down 30% from last week. Pending homes are up 4.2%. Now, again, I just kind of want to go over some disclosures with you guys about this data right now. It's only in Sacramento County, and it is only based off of these criteria right here. Okay, so I'm not putting any specific square footage, bedroom counts, bath counts, anything like that. It's only strictly single family homes, so condos, townhomes, things like that would not show up. The reason I don't want to overcomplicate everything is because we'll be here all day. Of course, when you break it down to a small niche of homes, like a subdivision or just a particular zip code, then that changes everything too. Okay, so this is just a whole general idea of how Sacramento County single family homes are. Okay, so these are the data for that. Normally, this time around is when it's super competitive, and we're going to talk about that later. So from last month, inventory is up 14%, which is good. Okay, which is good. New listings are down 8% from last month. Sold homes are down 20% from last month. Pending homes are down 5%. And from last year, inventory is down 56%. That's a lot. New listings is down 46%. No new homes hitting the market. Okay, when I say new homes, I'm not talking about brand new development home. I'm talking about just a listing. Like it could be a resale home, an older home, but it's first time hitting the market. Okay, so that type of new listing is down, and we need new listings, a consistent amount to make up for the inventory. Okay, that's why if you're a buyer right now, if you're signed up to get notifications on your consumer apps like Zillow, Realtor, and Redfin, and from your agent, each time a new home comes on the market, if it's under your criteria and price point, it's gonna give you an alert. But guess what? Every buyer that's looking in that same catalog or same criteria as you, they're getting the same alert. So that's why sometimes when you go look at a home that just barely hit the market that hour or that day, there might be a line of buyers outside waiting to look at that same house because there's not enough inventory and everybody's kind of looking for the same thing. So that's why when you go see homes, it feels so competitive because there's like a line sometimes. It's because of these data right here. Okay. As you can see, sold homes is down 41% from last year. Pending homes are also down 16% from last year, same month. For this year so far versus last year so far to this point, 56% less inventory, 40% less new listings. Sold homes are down 36%, 29% lower on pending homes.
Elaborate on that a little bit. Why is pending sales down 36%? That's pretty interesting. Sold homes, sorry, sold homes.
Sold homes are down because again, there's not a lot of inventory. And there's just not that much buyers right now too, like what you've seen. Okay, so if you guys look at the data from last year, okay, there's more inventory last year, there's more sold homes. Last year was a lot more competitive because rates was a lot more sexier. With the rates going up, a lot of buyers are kind of on the bench right now waiting to see if the affordability is going to go up, whether that's lower interest rates or lower price points, or they have more money for a down payment or for buy downs. Okay, so when inventory is low, you're gonna see this because sold homes is kind of tied into inventory. If there's not a lot of inventory, there's not gonna be a lot of sold homes, and buyers cancel. Okay, and that's why pendings, even though it's pending, it's kind of good to gauge that because if it's pending, not 100% of pending homes actually sell. So that's why this number and this number is pretty close together. You see that? From last month, 743, 710. From last year, 845, 973. Okay. And depending on how long the home goes pending, it might not be 30 days. It might be 2 months. It might be 3 months. It might be 6 months if the seller needs a long escrow in order to find a new home to move into. So there's a lot of reasons why a home will be pending for such a long time. And when it's pending, it's not considered sold.
A lot of times as lenders, especially for me, I think it's I try to do it as fast as I possibly can, but I'm getting a lot of pushback. Well, I wouldn't say pushback, but I was like, no, we don't have to close on time. I'm sorry, we don't have to close early. Just close it on time. And sometimes they're stretching out that escrow, exactly what you said, because they're still trying to solidify the next home.
And buyers, when you're in contract, it's pending now on that home, right? Meaning the seller cannot offer it or get in contract with a different buyer. They're in contract with you. It's binding, okay? As long as you already wire your deposit to title, then you're binding. When you do your due diligence, meaning your inspections or appraisals, if something comes up that you don't like and it's not agreeable between both parties, that's going to delay the whole escrow. So that is one of the reasons why pending homes stay pending for a longer period of time, is because there's going to be delays. Even if you buy a brand new development home, there's delays. They give you a projected date. All right, next. Average price per square foot, pretty steady from last week. Not that much change. 0.6%. Last month, average price per square foot went up from last month, 2.4%. So I've been getting people asking me about price per square foot. They see this and they go, okay, my home is worth, I could price my house based off of 341. No, this is average, okay? When your home has bigger square foot, if you're looking at comparables, the average price per square foot for a bigger home versus a smaller home is actually less. Don't go based off of this because it's not going to be accurate. I'm guaranteeing you, if you compare a smaller home in your neighborhood and you use their price per square foot on yours is going to be way higher. And most of the time, that's how people do it, and it's not the correct way of doing it.
To piggyback off of that too, it's basically because there's a lot more houses that are in the average square footage pricing, okay? And in the average square footage pricing, you have more pools of people buying for the sole purpose of first-time buyers. You have investors because they all rent out better than a large home. Usually when people have these large homes, it's because that's their dream home, that's their forever home, and things like that. So there's going to be much more less of that, and because of that, it's going to skew that data for you guys.
And other homes are not going to be exactly like yours. Even if the layout is identical, they might have upgrades or you might have upgrades, and it's not taking that into consideration. So always have a professional opinion on the value of your home. Don't go based off of Zillow. Okay. All right, same month last year, it is down 3.4%, which is not a lot. This year so far, for the past 6 months versus last year's 6 months, is down 7%. All right, let's go with days on the market. Okay, average days on the market from last week went up by 1 day, okay, which is 19 days. That means that's how long it's going to take for an average home, if they price it correctly, market it correctly, how long it takes for it to go pending to where it's no longer on the market as active. And 100% of sellers are still getting what they're asking for. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. If more sellers are pricing their homes inaccurately, this number will be down.
On a normal market, how long does it typically take for a house to sell?
On a normal market, it's going to be 3 months worth.
So I wanted you to share that because it's like it's 19 days, even though some people are like 19 days, I'm already stressed out because we've been in the market for so long. That's like, okay, 2-3 days. By the time you put it on the market on a Wednesday, by the time the first open house rolls around, that's it, that's gone and everything like that. So even with 19 days, it's still really, really low.
Here's another thing to think about too, buyers. On average, a home goes pending in 19 days, but the moment it came on the market, it probably received offers already that same day. That's what we're seeing right now. I'm going to talk more about that later. So sellers, they're holding on to all of those offers and then reviewing them maybe after the first open house, or reviewing them a week later that it's been on the market, to see who's serious and who's a window shopper and who's not. And then from
Yeah.
there, they vet all the offers, and they could only accept one, and they reject the rest. And maybe depending on how long it took for them to review the offers and choosing the offers, it might have took them on average 19 days. So that's how all of this works. All right, comparing from last month, it's down 33% on average. It's 18 days. As you can see, the season is here, so more homes are going quick now. Okay, and the data don't lie, y'all. And again, 100% of sellers are still getting what they're asking for when they put their homes on the market. From last year, it's up a little bit, 4 days longer than last year, but that's not too far off. This is how you know it is still super competitive. If you remember last year's competition, it's pretty similar now, just with less inventory and less buyers, but it's still very competitive. 100% of the sellers are still getting what they're asking for. Now, the same month compared to last year, same 6 months, it is up 137%, which is 38 days on average. Okay, that's like a whole month, which is not too bad, but that's still considered a seller's market. Okay, remember what me and Lisa said
Hmm.
earlier. It needs to be at least a minimum of 3 months, which is 90 days, for it to be a normal market. Okay, right now we are not in a normal market yet. It's still a seller's market. And 98% of sellers are getting what they're asking for. There you go.
That's so nuts. I mean, we're in the summer months, yes, even though it doesn't feel like it and everything like that, but it's just it's crazy how limited our inventory uh,
Yeah.
is, and we're going on. I mean, I think the real estate market started turning back in around 2011, 2012 ish. So everybody's just like, well, this is the normal cycle. Historically, it's supposed to be 10, 15 years, right? So what's
Yep.
going on here? But I mean, this is just basic economics 101, right? Supply and demand.
Supply and demand.
We still have way more demand than we do have supply.
And as you can see from last week, active average price was a lot higher by 1%. Sold price actually is lower from last week, 5%. Last month, it's a little bit higher, just a little bit though, 0.6%. Sold price, 2.5% higher than last month. So again, I say this a lot. Appraisers care more about sold price. Okay, they don't care about active. Active means even though they went into contract or they came into the market at that price, doesn't mean it's gonna sell for that price. So they care more about average sold price. And it is up from last month. Now look at this. From last year. Active price is up from last year, right? 20%. But sold price is down 0.8. That's not a lot. So here's what I want you guys to understand. Last year, everybody that was looking to buy a home was saying prices are so high. This year, prices should be lower. And if they see a home in that market that they want to buy, because they've been in the market for a long time, for the past couple of years, a buyer would see a home similar and be like, why is our price still so high? It should be lower, right? Well, because of supply and demand, it's causing the prices to not go as low as you would hope. So it all depends on the competition, right? So again, comparing to last year, it's not that far off. Average price right
Yeah.
now is 606K. Last year, same time, 611. That's not that far off, okay?
I want to see why that is the case, though, because consistently, Chia, we've been seeing prices increase, especially on the escrows that we're putting in for our clients too. So I want to see what's the bell curve, because this is the median, right? It's not
Mm-hmm.
technically just the average, but what they do is they just combine everything. But really, what they need to do is to take the median and see, okay, take out the outliers, okay, take out the outliers and see what the true average is.
Again, okay, we're comparing a pretty big general criteria here, right? There is no limits to the bed count, bath, year built, because all of that takes into consideration now too, right?
Right.
So again, this is just to give you guys an idea, okay, the viewers, I'm not going to go in depth on every particular single family layout because that's going to take a long time and you guys are going to be
Right.
super bored.
This is all like condos, single, anything
No,
from
it's not
that
even
realm.
condos.
It's not condo. It's just regular
No,
single
this is
family
just regular
residence.
single family homes. If it's a
Right.
condo or townhome or anything like that, it is not included in this data.
Interesting. So basically, it will include 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom houses, all the way up to 8 bedroom houses. Correct?
Yep. 20
So,
bedrooms if there is. Yep. But it's a good idea. It's a good general idea of how to gauge the market. That's what you want because nobody has a future crystal ball to tell them everything that's going to happen on the offer. But you have to go back to data and let that help inform you or educate you on how to make a better decision. That's what it should be used for. That's why we showed you guys. Now, for the last 6 months versus last year's 6 months, active is up 20%. Average sold price is down 6%. All right, let's go to months worth of inventory, which shouldn't change that much from last week. Here it is. Don't pay attention to this, okay? This part right here is not accurate because it's going based off of May, not June. So you gotta look at this because we're in June. So 1.3%, 1.3 months worth of inventory compared to last month. It's a little bit more, but again, it's not enough inventory to change the direction of the market. And if you're comparing it to last year, it is a lot lower. See that? 1.3 this year versus 1.8 last year. So it is lower. The whole past 6 months is actually lower than the whole 6 months of last year by 31%. Okay, again, me and Lisa is going to talk about this until you guys remember it. Until this number, 1.3 months, gets to like 6.0, that's when it's a buyer's market. When it's at 3.0, 3 months worth to 4 months worth, that's a normal market. Okay, right now we are not in a normal market. Any questions, Lisa?
no.
You good?
Yep.
Then that is the market update for you guys.